He's going to give you some extra details. He's going to give you background. He's going to explain Greek and Hebrew terminology. He's going to say, this is what this means. He's going to read some of the footnotes there for you. And so that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind. Make sure we're not quote after quote after quote after quote with no explanation, no context, no reason for why you're putting it into your podcast. Moving on, pardon me, I'm going to back up just a little bit. On your middle, think TDA. Think text-dependent analysis. You can do TDA anytime, anywhere. If you're reading through something, you can pull data and support and evidence and vocab words and quotes. You can include all those things. So the middle is going to be your heavy TDA section. Now, moving on to your conclusion. What led you to your conclusion? What made you decide how you feel about this and your opinion on it? This is where you're telling me, here are all the details I took away from my research. Here's all the things that really stuck with me and hit home when I was doing my research. So what are some major takeaways? What do you want every single person who's listening to your podcast to remember after they're done listening? So 5 weeks from now, what's something you want me to remember about your topic? What's something when I'm talking to my friends, you want me to bring up to them? Hey, I was listening to this great podcast. This is what happened. They told me. What kinds of things do you want me to be saying to my friend as I'm talking about your podcast? And then finally, this is one a lot of people forget, but thank your listeners and anyone who helped with your show. So for example, if your little brother is taping you this entire time, thank your little brother. If your mom is being interviewed, if your mom is helping you FaceTime in interviewees, make sure you're thanking those people. All right, now we're gonna move into planning ahead for next week. I'm going to repeat one more time. Your script for your podcast is not due to me today. You can start working on it if you would like, but it's not due today. We're going to do our first draft next week. Right now, we're just doing our outline. So, planning ahead for next week, here's our coming soon. I wrote on your paper, when will your first draft, different than podcast template, when will that be due? That's going to be due at the end of next week. So all next week, we're going to be working on draft 1, not your final draft, draft 1. How can you receive feedback from Ms. Schmidt on your first draft? The best and fastest way to receive feedback from me is to use Google. So make sure you're uploading it onto your Google account, sharing it with me, and I can immediately type in comments. Make sure you share it with me with a message though, because if you make changes and then don't send me a message to say that you made those changes, I'm just gonna think you haven't been working on it or you haven't corrected what we were talking about. You can also video chat. You can always set up a time for me to call you or we can talk online so that I can give you some feedback as you're working. And then will we be receiving assignments on Good Friday and Easter Monday? I can't believe Easter is here already. It definitely feels like a different Easter. But anyway, we are not going to be doing homework on Good Friday and Easter Monday. So we're going to be observing those days just to be with our family, to connect with God, to go to church. Maybe we'll be going to church online to do devotionals, but to really soak in Holy Week. I think it's important that we're not working on Good Friday and Easter Monday. So if you have any other questions for me, just email, video chat, anything that you need to do. But I hope you have a wonderful week. We miss you.